Hi, we're back. I felt the need to put a little disclaimer before this video. What this video is about is the difference in the broader Ultimate community of how we treated our female athletes in one situation and how we treated our male athletes in a similar situation, and is not meant to target any company or organization in particular. Any companies that are mentioned because that's who we dealt with in our experience. We said everything that we wanted to say in the spring. We're not trying to open it up again. We just think the contrast is something to talk about. Last spring, the team I coached publicly asked for an explanation and apology when the boys' division of a tournament was covered and the girls' division was not. Recently, a boys' team in our community did the same thing. Here's a list of things that weren't said to them. The girls' division was more competitive. It was a clear step above the mixed and boys' divisions.
According to the Ultiworld Power Rankings, the quality of competition was notably lower in the women's division, so Ultiworld covers what is higher quality. Nothing wrong with that.
If you want to recap so bad, why don't you write it yourself?
So much energy was put into telling us how we were wrong about what we did that could have been put into actually typing up a thing and saying, hey, saw you didn't have a girls recap, so I wrote this up. It would be really appreciated if you would post it. And I'm not saying it's on the young women in high schools to write their own recaps, but you look at the amount of time and energy that was spent telling us how we made this grievous mistake, and it could have probably been some of that time, just like a fraction of the time, could have been used to type up a little recap.
This publication has posted about boys sports before. You should be thankful for that coverage.
The backlash that Ultiworld got for their lack of coverage was absurd. People completely looked past the work that Ultiworld has done to promote women's Ultimate.
You know that guy who spends his life developing Ultimate and goes out of his way pretty often to support both genders? Yeah, that guy.
Who even cares about high school sports? You should be thankful you get any attention at all.
They should be lucky Ultiworld covers as much as it does. Don't push your luck, kids.
Woodlawn girls should be really grateful for even having the opportunity to go to any tournaments that get news coverage. Thank you.
It was a business decision. They're just listening to the market.
HB Woodlawn can demand whatever they want, but it's not up to Ultiworld to seek out and hire a women's reporter for one tournament either. It's a business. It probably wasn't worth Ultiworld's time or finances.
Would it have just been better if we covered no one then?
But in terms of writing about Ultimate, there's not a lot of it. And so for us to do nothing just so that we can avoid having an inequity doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
You're being off-putting.
I mean, I don't want people to think I'm ragging on them or their ideals. This is a deeply important issue to me as well. I just think they're going about this the wrong way.
What disappoints me about this is that it feels like their good and valid points are discredited by silly, emotion-driven statements that don't really make much sense.
Seriously though, the market.
Ultiworld has been doing their best to promote girls Ultimate, but they are a business and more people are interested in guys. Also, if I seem to be missing the point and supposed to be angry, let me know because this seems like an overreaction on the women's Ultimate side.
Should Ultiworld give equal weight to D1 and D3 Ultimate, Youth and Club? Why or why not? No, they are a business trying to make a profit. Once they make a profit, they can subsidize efforts of inclusivity, but not before then.
Sure, if Ultiworld had access to all the resources they surely wish they had, then no game would go uncovered. In that world, the girls have a legitimate complaint against Ultiworld.
Ultiworld is not a charity that specializes in gender equity.
It's stuff like this that undermines actual legitimate complaints about gender equity.
Instead, the very same day, the boys received a public apology and explanation, as well as a reaffirmation of their value to their community. I'm not saying that I think the boys were wrong for asking for equal coverage. I think that they accomplished a lot this summer and they deserve attention and they deserve recognition. Their tweet was a little mocking of what happened with the HB varsity girls last spring, and that's fine. But the fact that a essentially what is kind of a joke tweet. The sentiment underneath it might have been real, but what was essentially a joke tweet got an immediate and sincere apology. And that's what should happen. That's how you should talk to our youth. That's how you should address our youth's concerns. If we want them to grow up, to feel valued, and to feel like a part of our community and make our community better, that's how you should talk to them. That a group of boys can want the same thing as a group of girls and put it out there basically as a joke and get what they want right away, when we were never apologized to or given an explanation that wasn't just rationalization for sexism in our culture. Honestly, the contrast is absurd. That's why equity matters. That's why we're going to keep working towards it every season, every day, on and off the field. We hope you'll join us. And one last thing. Before you get defensive or defend all those comments that were made in the spring, I highly encourage you to read a series of articles in The Current. These articles explain the history between sports and media, and that context is very important. There are also articles by and about other groups that may be experiencing our community differently than you.